This is Sam Loke here for irishboxing.com. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Cian Doyle today in Crumlin Boxing Club. Cian, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Sam. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Great to meet you too. I'm good, man. Yeah, as I say, first man to ask me how I am today. Great. Obviously, let's just talk about, you're down here in Crumlin. You're 1-0 now. You had your pro debut a few months ago. Just talk to me about how you're getting on. How's pro life treating you?
Yeah, it's still very much the same. Like, I'm still training every day. I'm staying busy and just waiting to hear for a fight day. Just keeping busy and training every day.
Brilliant. Yeah, so obviously you're 1-0 now. You had your pro debut a few months ago. Was it in October?
Yeah, October it was. Yeah, October up in Belfast.
Yeah. And just talk to me about kind of getting your pro debut in, and how exciting was that? How nice was it just to get in under the lights and get it done?
Oh, it was class. Like, even the atmosphere up in that Devonish and all that night, the weigh-in, just the whole week of the fight and all, it was deadly. Like, I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one now.
How did you feel you got on? Like, how did you feel you actually fought in the ring on the night?
Yeah, I was very happy with my performance. Obviously, like, you never have a perfect fight. There's always mistakes and there's always things you need to work on. Like, so, but overall, I was happy with how I done and thought I handled the occasion well.
Brilliant. You're looking to have your second fight, I presume, as soon as possible. Is there any word from you're with obviously Boxing Ireland Promotions in Len Gunning and Dennis Morrison and Stephen Sharp? Is there any kind of word on when you'll be out next?
Well, we are meant to be Belfast up in the Devonish again on the 26th, but just a few days ago I think it's getting scrapped, so just waiting to hear. Hopefully have a bit of news this week or next week on what's happening, like, but just as of now we're just staying busy and ready to go. Like, I'm ready to fight in the next, whenever, like 3-4 weeks, whenever it is, like, I'll be always ready.
So I think that's a really important mentality to have, isn't it? Yeah. That you're kind of training constantly and you're ready, and ready mentally as well. That if you do get because
anyone can take a fight win a week, but that they know in their head that they haven't been training. But if you know you've been training and you haven't stopped training and you're always training, you're always fit, you're always in with a shout then, like, do you know what I mean? Instead of going in there with 1 or 2 weeks training, if you just got called up out of the blue, you know yourself that you're not ready.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose, as I was trying to touch on there, like, mentally then you have belief going into the fight, like, I'm actually training, I can win this fight, I'm not just going in to go in.
Exactly, that's 100%, yeah.
100%. So obviously, you know, you're only 1-0 at the moment. You're looking to get your second one in, but how busy do you want to be? I mean, has there been many discussions with Boxing Ireland Promotions about how often you want to fight, how many fights you want to get in this year?
Yeah, they want to keep me busy like everyone, but obviously there's more. It's not as simple as that. Like, things happen, like shows get cancelled. Like, there was meant to be the Dublin show straight after my debut in November. Just a few weeks later, that got cancelled. Then Belfast, the show up in Belfast got cancelled. So it's hard, like, with COVID and stuff like that, but hopefully get 3 or 4 fights I'd love this year. That'd be ideal.
That'd be amazing. COVID has definitely made things difficult, hasn't it? But hopefully we're seeing the back end of that now, hopefully. Just talk to me about your decision to kind of turn over, because you were a successful amateur. I mean, you won Irish titles at youth level. I believe 4 Irish titles at youth level. You're only a young man. You're just turned 21, I think, recently, right? A few weeks. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Talk to me about, the decision to turn over rather than hang around for maybe a higher level amateur career and maybe the possibility of an Olympics or something like that. You know, so what made you make that decision to turn pro?
I think, as you just said there, hanging around, that's all you're kind of doing if you're waiting around for 1-2 tournaments a year max, like, and I just wasn't into that. Like, I want to just give the pro game a go. I don't want to just wait for the elites once a year or the under 22s, whatever. Like, I want to be busy and I want more fights, and I just want to give the pro game a go. See what happens.
How far do you think you can go in the pro game under the tutelage of Crumlin Boxing Club and Phil Sutcliffe?
Yeah, I think I can do well. I know I'm definitely capable of winning Irish titles, and just my short-term goal to be an Irish title and push on from there and then see how far I can go. But I'm definitely capable of winning Irish titles and pushing on from there. Like, not everyone's going to be a world champion like everyone says, but like, I just want to give it a go, see how far I can go.
Yeah, brilliant. I like that kind of. It's quite level-headed. Like, you seem to have a lot of belief in yourself, but you have a level-headed approach to the whole thing. You know what I mean? You know that it's difficult, but let's take it kind of fight by fight and step by step and see where we go. You're going to fight at super bantamweight, you were telling me off camera. What is the goal in terms of the Irish title? Would you like to try and capture that title this year, towards the back end maybe?
Yeah, well, hopefully if everything goes well and I get probably 2-3 fights, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely ready to fight for an Irish title at the end of this year. If I get two or three fights, I'll be definitely ready for an Irish title, 100%.
Excellent. Talk to me about training here under Phil Sutcliffe Senior. In like Crumlin Boxing Club is so famous. It's famous for producing really high level fighters, amateur and some very good pros as well. What does Phil bring to the table? And like, you know, on a day-to-day basis, what is it about Phil that, you know, makes you, I suppose, so certain that this is the place to be?
It's just, I've never had any other coach. It's just the experience he has is second to none in Ireland, I think, anyway. Like, he just, there's not a thing about boxing that he doesn't know. Yeah. He has all the shots in the book. He makes up great shots, and he's just brilliant coach. Like, there's nothing he doesn't know about boxing. So there's no one better to have as a coach than him, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And also the great thing about here is that you've got some a good little group of pros now, and then there's always a strong amateur setup as well, right? So talk to me about like the sparring and who you sparring with. Are you getting to spar with the likes of Willow, who's not a million miles away from you in weight? Even Jake is a little bit heavier, but still not a million miles away in weight. So yeah, who are you sparring with, and how are the spars going here?
Yeah, grand. Yeah, you'll be in with Willow, and then there's two very good amateur lads at featherweight and lightweight, Killian Gertie and Adam Clark. We spar them lads as well. They're around my weight as well. So we do get great sparring here, and we all just learn from each other, and we're all just training hard every day. Like, we're bringing each other on.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you need, isn't it? Like in high level gyms, it's not just that you're coming in, you're on your own doing 1-to-1 sessions. You're getting motivated by the guys around you.
Yeah, definitely in a group, and we're all just pushing towards. We all have our own goals, and we're all gone. Like, we all want the same thing. We all want to just do well, and we're all pushing each other on every day. So it's great. Like, yeah,
that's great. Who are your kind of influences in boxing? I mean, you're a relatively young man now. I say relatively. Yeah. You're 21, just turned 21, as we said. Who kind of has influenced you throughout your career as a youth boxer? You know, not just say professional boxers or high level amateur boxers, but you know, family members or coaches, or you know, who's really pushed you on and been like an inspiration to you throughout your career?
Yeah, I think like the likes of Phil has been my coach, and I think like coming up when I was like 15, 16, 17 and all. Young Phil Sutcliffe Jr., he was doing well, like, so we all kind of looked up to him in the gym. So I think he'd be one of my influences growing up as I was younger. And then obviously like watching the boxing on the telly, the likes of Mayweather and stuff like that, I love watching him. But I think like young Phil, probably we looked up to him growing up, and we all seen him in here every day, like training hard, like when we were young, and we said like he's doing well, like, so kind of looked up to him when I was younger.
Definitely, and he did. He had a very good career. And are there any other, say, international professionals that you've kind of looked up to throughout the years? Or anyone say that you take things from technically, you know, that you look at fight and you think, oh, I like how they do that, and you try to mimic them? Is there anyone who's kind of been inspirational in that sense?
Not really. Like, I just not try to take little bits of everything, but when I'm watching the boxing, I always take. I like Shakur Stevenson now. I think he's class. Like, I just really don't think there's anyone really better than him. Yeah. To be honest, at the moment, he's got. It looks like he's going to be the next Mayweather. Like, he's class. So I like watching him now, and the likes of Terence Crawford and all. I like watching all them. Yeah. They don't have one style. Like, they all have different things, and that's why they're pound for pound, like, isn't it? Like, that class, like,
very adaptable, right? They can do different things.
Do whatever, like, that's how you know that class, like. So it's good, like, just what I love watching them and just seeing what they do, and they make it look so easy, like, don't they?
Oh, they really, really do. Shakur is probably the first one that reminds me of Mayweather a lot in like how he throws the shots and stuff. You know what I mean?
So hard to hit, and he's just power, and he's deadly. He is to watch. And Terence Crawford, I like watching him as well.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
What about Shakur Stevenson apparently going to fight Oscar Valdez in a unification fight at super featherweight? Yeah, what do you think of that one? Who wins that?
I think Shakur Stevenson just be a bit too much for him, like, especially towards the later rounds. Like, he'll just come into it and just, it's like he doesn't get out of second gear, isn't it? Like, so I think if they fight Shakur Stevenson, it'd beat him. Yeah.
I'd say it'd be an absolute barn burner anyway. It's going to be some fights. Valdez is top notch as well. So last one I'll leave you with, Cian, is obviously Michael Conlan had his fight announced with Lee Wood for the WBA featherweight world title. press conference in Belfast was last Thursday. What do you make of that fight? And obviously, I'd say Michael is probably someone you've seen growing up as well, like a big name in the amateurs. Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think of that fight, and what chances do you give Michael a win on that fight?
I think Conlan would be too much for him. I think I'm going to go over to it. It's a deadly card. It is. Spooky was saying it as well. Some good fighters on it all. Gary Culley, there's a great undercard in it. Like, so I think Conlan will beat him on points, but it'll be a cracker of a fight. Like, it's a domestic world title fight. They don't get much better than that. Like,
100%. It is. It's a great fight, and I think there's an interesting element as well with the trainers. You know, Adam Booth, really good trainer. Ben Davison, a really good up and coming trainer. So there's a lot of interesting elements there, and you've obviously got Eddie Hearn promoting it, which never does it any harm, does it? No. But yeah, with Gary Culley against Miguel Vasquez on the undercard, very good fight, tough fight, good step up for Gary. Like,
very good step up, but I think Gary's class, like, he's deadly to watch as well. Like, he just makes it look easy as well, like, and that's just a sign of a great fighter, isn't it? Like, but I think that's a good test for him, and I think he'll come out with a win. Is
this the fight for Gary that kind of really puts him on the scene at world level? Do you think, like, big promotion, big card, big name opponent?
Yeah, like, it doesn't get much bigger than that. It's a step up, doesn't it? Not like, and if you come through that, then the world's like, you have the world at your feet. Then you have like world title. You can go straight into world title fights, maybe one or two more fights, but you're straight in the mix, like, can't you? If you win that fight.
100%, definitely. You're dead right. The other Irish interest on the card so far, unless we have a few more that get announced, is Kevin Ajarko. What do you think of Kevin? I mean, obviously Eddie Hearn is really putting the hype train behind, the matchroom hype train behind him, really believes in him, thinks he's going to go all the way. What do you think of Kevin? And obviously, I'd say you would have been around Kevin a little bit in the amateur scene, right?
Yeah, I think he was about 2-3 years older than me, but I remember watching him down the stadium, like, he would have been like U2 and under 18 when I was U1 and stuff like that. So I remember watching him down the stadium from when I was young, and he's always been very good and suited to the pros. Like, he has the power and stuff like that, and a good engine and all, but definitely think he can win a world title as well. Yeah,
you think he can go all the way?
Yeah, definitely.
And what would you like to see for him in his next few fights?
Same kind of, like, one or two more fights. Probably next year, kind of, I'd say he'd be definitely ready for world titles then. Yeah. Well, probably even the next 2 years maybe, but it's definitely another one that's capable easily of winning the world title.
100%. Well, Cian, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for talking to IrishBoxing.com today. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you soon.
Thanks very much, Sam.